So in front of me here, I got Kick Sauber Driver number 34, Mentillist. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
So I do have a couple of questions for you before the season starts.
Yeah, man. Hit me. I'm ready.
The first question is, of course, you're not new here. So how do you look back on the previous season?
Yeah, last season was my first sort of season ever in sim racing, and it was a huge learning curve for sure. Um, having to look out for real people is a lot different than the AI, and so I kind of had a learning curve to go. And my goals were really to learn a lot and at least improve sort of race after race. And I think I met both those goals. So I look back on it really well. I enjoyed it a lot. I wish I survived more of the races. But by the end of the season, that's where I was getting that kind of consistency. So yeah, I'm looking back on it fondly. We had a really good time.
Yeah, I think you really improved during the season. You got a great amount of points at the end, so I think it was a success.
Yeah, yeah, I nabbed a few points even. Yeah, I did, and yeah, it was. It was really good. We had a few good battles, and there seems to be a few of us in sort of the different, a couple different speed groups, and but we've all got a few to fight with, and yeah, we had a couple really good battles too out there. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the standings. You got a amount of 32 points, which is not bad as a rookie. So hats off.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, it was like I said, it was a lot of fun. Every point earned, I was very pleased to get.
Yeah, yeah, I think you did well. So speaking about last season, you drove for Sauber as well, and this season you chose to stay there. So was there any reason why you didn't change any teams?
Um, ooh, is a really good question. I thought about changing teams, to be honest. Um, I do drive a different car in a different league. Um, but I got to be honest, man. I love the look of the Kick Sauber, the black and the green. I love it. It kills me that they're not a strong team in F1 right now. I would love to see it, get better. I am excited for Bortoleto, who's coming, by the way. I'm catching up with that news, but yeah, I really love the look of the car. And I'm actually a big Valtteri Bottas fan too. So I was quite happy, yeah, to just stay there, and I like the sound of it. I know the sound changed a bit, but
Yep.
I do like the sound of it. So he was like, "Yeah, man, well, I don't see a reason to change here. I'm going to be what makes Kick Sauber grow, you know?"
Yeah, I think it's either you hate it or you love it, the delivery. So
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm definitely a lover of it, man. I don't know why. There's a NHL team, I think Dallas Stars, that have a wicked bright green and black jersey. Occasionally, I just love it. Everybody hates it, but I love it.
yeah, a lot of bright colors are very good with black together. So
Yeah, yeah, it's
so
good.
it always works. Yeah, you're right. All right, that's that's about the teams. Now, how do you, if you go back to your personal situation as a driver, how do you most of the time prepare for a race? Is there anything in particular you do, like music, or do you practice the track? What is your procedure heading into a race weekend?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. That was something that definitely changed as the season got going. Learning how to practice and how to get ready. I learned quickly on that a lot of practice right before the race did me a disservice. For some reason, it's maybe because you get complacent going around the track. I don't know, but I found that there definitely was like a level of over practice. So what I've started to do is a few hours before the race, couple hours before the race, I like to get on and I'll warm up just on any track that's in the F1 play, just to keep the randomness of it. It sort of keeps me from picking my favorite track all the time. It gets a good variety, I find, and I don't have to think about the variety. Um, So I've been doing that a lot more. Another thing I've been doing is after a race weekend, I try to look at what I did and where I think my either biggest mistake was or the most mistakes I made that were the same, and try to find a way to adjust it throughout the week so that by the time I get to that race day, I'm comfortable with whatever I've changed. And so that's also part of that random workup. But before the race weekend, before the race day, um, I like to practice in the Grand Prix mode just on the strongest AI that's out there. It keeps me on my toes, and they're good for the. I find they're really good for learning how to um, run a qualifier and look out for people. That's where I started to hone that skill better. Um, um, yeah, no, that's basically how I approach it. And then I do like to do I like the F1 career mode a lot because I like the track acclimation uh, practice mode or whatever. I wish you could pick a practice mode when you made your own Grand Prix. But anyway, I really like that one, and so I'll sometimes if it's a track I don't feel very comfortable with, I will go make it like a new career and try to start on that track or just fast track my way to it so that I can take advantage of those practice programs because I do find a few of them helpful. Yeah, yeah, that's about how.
Well, I think we just found out how you improved race by race. That sounds
Yeah,
really preparing. Yeah, I think that's really good. Also,
yeah.
especially that you look back on certain mistakes. I think that really helps.
Yeah, I'm an analyst. I do a lot of like data analysis in my regular career, and I've always liked, one of the things I like about racing, I guess, is that there's a very quantifiable way, a way to measure the who's doing well and who isn't, and what someone's doing differently than what you're doing, whether it's braking later or carrying more speed into a corner or just taking a better line around a corner or any of it. You can see it all, especially in the data, and I love that. I love data. I'm computer science is my training, and so I run the telemetry stuff so that I can look back and say, okay, if I do this different, I can improve in this way, and just try to incrementally get better.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love it. I'm obsessed. Like I'm obsessed with it. I do. I
Yeah,
love
well,
that. Just that pursuit of getting better, and there's a
yeah,
way.
exactly.
It's not so much about being better than someone else either, right? Like it's about just me getting better and better. I want to get
Yeah,
as good as I can get wherever that is.
yeah, exactly. And once you do that, you find yourself passing people every race. So I think you shouldn't change any of that. It works really well.
Yeah, yeah, no, it has, and you know what I'm finding, my one of my strengths is my start in my first lap. I got to get better on the race pace and getting a good lap every single lap. But I'm starting to get stronger at the very beginning, and I think that's good because I'm not sure what I'm doing that's working there exactly. Um, but yeah, I like that part. You know what I mean? I love that first lap going, and we get to
Yeah.
the second lap, and I'm like, oh come on.
Oh, me too. Oh, I love it when I got multiple cars before turn one.
Yeah,
It's the best feeling.
yeah, I do, right?
But
It's great when you just get going and start saying, "See ya, see ya."
yeah, exactly. Well, now we know that you are a pretty uh, good driver as it comes down to analyzing. You probably have a lot of goals as well. So, what do you expect for the upcoming season? Do you think you will be better, or do you aim for more points?
Yeah, I want to really focus on a consistent race pace is one of my biggest goals this time. I find like I have really good laps and then I have really bad laps, right? Sometimes it's just a mistake on, whether it's too much throttle or wiggle or, like we all do it. But I feel like I'm making too many of those little ones in an effort to go as fast as I can every single lap as opposed to finding a good pace that I can just maintain better. Because I think my overall time will improve if I drive the same lap speed every single lap versus, a few really good laps, a few at the speed I'm aiming for, and then a few really slow laps. Do you see what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
don't know that the fast laps really offset the slow laps. So yeah, that's probably my biggest goal is to have good consistent lap times throughout a race. And I'm hopeful that that leads to a faster race pace as well. Once you
Yeah,
can
I think it's
drive those lines blind.
with a lot of drivers. I think it's all about consistency, isn't it? Before you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
get yourself up there, and it's a great goal to get there. I think you had some consistent races already, but
yeah.
yeah, good to
Yeah,
get
and
as well
I'm
as
like
drivers.
every driver, right? You've got strong tracks and weak tracks,
Yeah,
right?
of course. Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, and there's definitely we definitely had some of my better tracks at the I think the end of the season as well. That's one of my favorite things about this new season is I was here early enough to well because I finished the last season I guess, but I was here to participate in like picking the tracks with everybody,
yeah,
and that was a lot of fun to be a part of.
yeah. That's why we do it to have a lot of drivers being happy with what tracks they will be driving. So,
Yeah, yeah, and I'm very excited about some of them. There's a few I'm really afraid of though.
well, I think I can be happy with the result of the votes because things like
Yeah.
Jeddah and Qatar are not in there, Vegas is not in there. I mean, those are the ones
Yeah.
I really I was afraid the most of, but they're not there, luckily.
Yeah, Suzuka is one for me that I can put in a good lap, but I really struggle to for that consistent lap in that one, right? So I'm it's far enough away I don't have to worry, but by then I'll be great at it, you know?
Yeah, I think it will be. I think it's a good calendar. It will be more
I think
races
so.
as well. So
Yeah, I love that we're racing all the way into March. I think that's fantastic. And a little time off at Christmas for everybody, of course.
yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, very excited about it. Yeah.
Great stuff. So that were your expectations and your goals. Um, but the one thing I want to know is, besides those goals, is there is there any? Do you feel any rivalry when now you're starting your second season, or are you more like I beat whoever I can? Doesn't really matter who. Or do
Yeah,
you?
okay. Yeah, I had kind of a fun, friendly rivalry going with Wolverine in the season one. I can't remember if I saw him on the lineup, but he's in the lineup, right?
He's a reserve this season for now.
He's a reserve this time. Okay, that's what I thought I saw. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to any time he gets back on the track for sure. Him and I generally have a good back and forth, and we've
Yeah.
pushed each other to get better. So that's a good friendly one we've got going. Um, yeah, I did have a couple bumps with one driver in particular last season. It seemed, it seemed like we were always the ones that managed to bump into each other. Um, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing him on track hit someone else, hopefully, or no one at all. I guess would be better.
You mean
We all have those bumps though.
as in bump as in like positive or negative that you?
Oh, yeah, no, no, like we had a couple crashes, a
Oh
couple
yeah, yeah,
incidents
okay,
that
yeah,
that would spoil my race or his race or both. We did it to each other like 3 or 4 times, I think, The one at Silverstone is the one that I remember the best, off the starting line, but, no, like, you like any time, right? You're like, "Arr, I got hit,"
yeah.
um,
I got
right
it.
when it happens, but, you look back at it, and I just laugh at it, looking back at it,
Yeah.
and I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out because we definitely seem to have a similar race pace as well. There, like I said, we everybody's good and bad. So there were a few I did better, a few he did better, and a few we did about even. So yeah, I'm looking forward to him for sure this year.
All right, great stuff. So that wraps up all the questions I got. So thank you very much.
Yeah, man. No, it's great. I love that.
It
This
was
is
a
cool.
pleasure.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Good luck.